Hello everyone, welcome back. We're back here in DaVinci Resolve 18.5. I had just made a rotating cylinder with pictures on it as from a request from one of my followers. And I have the top and the bottom in color red with text on it and the pictures in between in the middle. And everything rotates and animates. Well, now, but it all goes one direction. I figured out a way to do it where I can have the red with the text rotating one way and the pictures rotating the other way. And I can also do it with a reflection on the bottom, like it's sitting on a table. That might be part 2, depending on how fast we can get through this. With that said, we'll go ahead and get started. Make all 4 pictures 720 by 720 with a border on them. Grab the right thing here. Grab a fusing composition, bring it down, extend it out to 10 seconds. I do want to note I am on a 30 frames per second timeline. And we'll see how this goes. This is the first time I recorded myself doing this. Kind of want you guys to see how we do it, being paralyzed. And now we'll head down to Fusion. Start with clicking a few times right here so nothing's selected. And select the 3D shape. Emerge. Camera. And a render. We're going to use directional lights to make these seem a little softer. And we'll throw an ambient light in. So shift spacebar. Select that merge node first. And type in directional. Okay, we have all our lights in. Drag and merge up in the left viewer. Drag the render into the right one. Okay, what this is here, you won't have this node. This is some values that we have to have for making this up. It'll make it a lot quicker if we just type the values in rather than monkeying around figuring them out. Okay, back to the merge and left viewer. Let's name the shape to cylinder. Actually, red cylinder. Okay, with the shape node selected, which is called red cylinder now. Go up to the inspector under shape and select cylinder. I'm going to drag the measurements in the left viewer. Right here, we want it 2x5. Select the cylinder node, radius, and height. Okay. Trying to move along as fast as I can. All right, now you'll see all our lights and camera and everything are inside the cylinder. We'll select the camera. Go down to translation, Z-axis. And as you pull it back, you'll see in the right viewer, instead of it being white now, it's going to start showing the transparency around it. Back to this, we have a camera because the cylinder has a seam in it. So we want to get the seam in the right spot. So we want to rotate the translation X to -20 on the camera. Select use target. And I already had it typed in, so it's in there. All right, now we have our camera set up. To -20. If you want to change the size of your cylinder, from here, use the camera Z-axis. That'll move the camera farther out or closer. You will be able to move it around up in the edit page later. Now let's set up the cameras. Excuse my voice here today. It's quite weak and breaking up a lot. We'll name them. First one, left light. Second one, right light. All right, with the right light node selected, Open the inspector. Under translation, Z-axis. Don't forget to select use target. Then go to controls. We'll set the intensity down to around 240, 250. Now let's go to the left light. Under transform. Same thing, translation, Z-axis. If you look here in the left viewer in the 3D, you can actually see the lights moving. Now the X will move it sideways. And select use target again. You can also move them around with these little handles. We can always move them around later. Okay, if you haven't already brought down a background node, bring one down and tie it into the red cylinder node, which is your 3D material. We're going to change that background color to red. Which will ultimately make the cylinder red. Let's check things out, make sure we're not missing anything. By the way, I should have mentioned at the beginning, I will try to do that when I edit it. You want to have 4 pictures exactly the same size, and you want to put a border around them. You'll see why as it goes. My pictures are all 720 by 720. That's what you should probably be using for these values to all work and fit together. So you want to get all this ahead of time before you get started. All right, let's go back to where we're at. Let's get that ambient light up and out of the way. Same thing, select the ambient light node, go up in the inspector. And just move it up and to the right or left. With the red cylinder node selected, which again is your 3D shape. Right click, copy. And paste instance. Bring down another background node. Merge your instance into the red cylinder node. Now you'll see it's black. That's because this background's black. Bring a rectangle mask down and connect it to your background. Go up and to the right in the inspector. Take the width all the way to the right. Now back to our values. Mask width is 1 by 0.622. Okay. Now go back to the instance node. Right click the radius. Because everything green here is exactly matched up with the node that we took the instance off of. If you're not familiar with the instance node, it is just a carbon copy of that node. So we have to de-instance a couple things here that are in green, because that, if you do anything with those values while they're green, it will affect both. And all we want to do here is make the instance cylinder, because we have two cylinders, a red one and a black one. We want to make this one a little bit bigger. So just add a 4 to it, 2.04. That way the pictures won't be blended in with the inner cylinder. It's slightly bigger. Okay, now we'll bring down our media. While the media one is selected, which is your pictures, select the transform. And merge it into the background. We're getting there. Now you want to select the transform node. Again, up here in the left viewer, look at your values. Picture transform is 0.68 by 0.94. So open the inspector. Want to make sure you uncheck the use size aspect. Then the X is 0.68. And the Y is 0.94. Okay, with that node selected, up under center, X, we're going to rotate that picture to the right, but we have to rotate the cylinder counterclockwise first. Select the cylinder, under transform, rotation, Y-axis. Back to the picture transform. And actually, we could turn the cylinder at a 180 because the seam was on the backside. And this is only temporary. Back to the transform. All right, I'm going to get into one viewer so you can see what I'm doing here. Right here's that seam. See how the picture goes behind it? I'm going to set it up about like that. Go back to the cylinder node. And set it back to 0. Bring down your next picture. Copy and paste the transform. Merge them together. I have a hard time seeing with the highlighter on there. Now select that transform node. The pictures are laid over top each other right now. Back up here in the inspector. Under center X. Rotate that to the left some. Back to the cylinder. We'll rotate it till we see the seam again. Right here be good. Overlap them like that. Bring your third picture down. Copy and paste your transform. Rotate the cylinder to about like that. Select the third transform node. Let's rotate the cylinder. Bring down your last picture. Copy and paste your transform again. Select the transform node and go up in the inspector. Once again, center X. Now go back to the cylinder and rotate it and make sure they all line up correctly. Mine all look good. If you don't want red for the top and bottom, you can change that in the node, the background node. The bottom one. Maybe you want blue. I might go with this, that way it looks different than the other one I did. Once again, you can change it anytime. Okay, now we're going to add some text. To the blue area. Let's bring a text node down and merge it back into the background. I recommend doing two separate trees. One for your bottom line text, and one for the top. So with that node selected, put the text you're liking in. And you'll see right off the bat, you cannot see your text. It's hidden. But you can see the anchor. I suggest with the first node, because we're going to copy them from there on out, select your font, your text, the size of it and everything. and then go up to layout in the inspector. Mine's showing up right there. I'm going to put a white outline around my text, so go into shading, select number 2 element, back to layout, all right, now back to the cylinder node. I'm going to go back to red just because I called it red to start with. Let's simplify this. Back to the cylinder. Want to make sure that's at 0. All right, I'm seeing that at frame 0 we're not quite lined up. So line your cylinder up like with your picture like I have. Go back to your camera node and we'll fine tune that. Yeah, you do not want to rotate that. Sorry about that. That'd be counterproductive. All right. Again, with the cylinder node selected, you want the y-axis at 0. Now select the camera, up to translation, X value. Once again, I want to apologize about my weak voice. Sometimes I get extremely tired, and it affects my tone of voice, or I can't clear my throat because I don't have enough wind. Just so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I am going to switch a couple of the pictures. Just because I wanted a certain picture in the front to start out with. And also to show you that you can move them around pretty easily. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Now back to the text. Layout to line them up. It's very important you have the cylinder at frame 0 with the picture pointing directly at you and the first text lined up center. Now I'm going to copy and paste that text. Merge it into the other one. Select it. And change the text to your liking again. Back up on the layout. Actually, go to the cylinder first. Rotate the cylinder counterclockwise to 90, minus 90. Okay. Now select the second text that we were putting on. Under Layout Inspector. Copy. Paste it. Go to the cylinder node and rotate the y-axis to minus 180. And we'll keep repeating that. And select that node. See, now it's going under that seam again. So we got to rotate it the other way. If we start out with that seam in the middle of everything, it don't work. That's why we had to move the camera. Copy and paste that again. Select that node and change your text. So rotate the cylinder to 270, minus 270. I'm pretty sure I can animate this to have the text change as it comes around each time. I'm going to look into that and I'll do a follow-up tutorial on it if I figure that out. I done it with the subscribe button. Now select the text node. Again under layout. And you may want to fine tune some of this text a little better than I am. I'm just trying to get through the tutorial. Now we'll start out with a new text node. Putting the text on the bottom is the exact same thing as doing the top. So I'm going to fast forward this extremely fast to get through this part. Select the camera node, go over the inspector, and adjust it so you can see the top of the cylinder, but don't go so far that you can see the text behind it. If you still had cap top selected, deselect that. Red's a little bit too bright for me. Okay, let's animate this now. We'll make the top and bottom rotate clockwise, and we'll make the pictures rotate counterclockwise. So we'll select the red cylinder node. And right now everything is still turning together. So select the instance node. Under rotation, y-axis. And the instance. Now as you see, they rotate separately. Okay, we're ready to animate this. Make sure the red cylinder node is selected. Your playhead's at frame 0. Keyframe the y-axis. Bring your playhead to the end. Rotate the y-axis to -360. Now take the playhead back to frame 0. Select the instance node. Same thing, set a keyframe. Playhead to the end. This time we'll go to the positive of 360. Right now, it's only going to play to the end of the 10 seconds. Even if we stretch it, it won't rotate. Now I'll show you how to make it so you can just continue to rotate it by stretching the timeline. Open your spline up. If it's half covered like mine, up in the right corner, you can open it. Select all them. Go to zoom to fit. Select all. You can do it by highlighting them all or push the button I did. And I think there's also a hotkey on the keyboard that'll do it. Then go right next to it to set relative. Now it keeps rotating, and you can go as long as you like. Close that spline. Still not happy with that color red I have. Let's tone down some of the light a little bit. Take both the right and left light to right around 2. Ambient light down. Play with them until you find something you like. Well, that's about my favorite color, so I'm going to stick with it. We'll let it render out, and we'll play it. Then I'm going to also animate it up here to come in and out of the screen. Like I told you, you can change the size, move it around, or whatever you want up here. I will be adding a reflection to this too. It might be in part 2. I don't know if I mentioned that. So you have a reflection down here on the bottom. I have decided to go ahead and put the reflection in. So if you want to do that part, keep on watching the tutorial. All right, let's animate this real quick. Just going to take the position X all the way to the left till it's off the screen. Set a keyframe. Bring it in 4 seconds. I'm on a 30-second timeline. I probably should have mentioned it at the beginning. If I remember to put it in there, I will. I went 4 seconds back from the end. Keyframe the position again. Now position X, and we'll rotate it to the right. Okay, we'll render it out again. We get done with this, we'll go down and see if we can get a reflection on it. I know I can do it because I did it. But I only did it once. I'm going to highlight both the shape node and the instance. Copy and paste the instance again. Bring that up to there. That one to there. Merge them over each other. I'll make a merge. Make sure nothing's selected. Shift spacebar. Let transform 3D. Okay, bear with me for a minute. Gotta figure this out. We'll try de-instancing the Y value. Then go to the instance node, the transform that's hooked to it, transform 3D. That is bringing down all the text, or not text, the pictures. That's this line up here. Now, same thing here. There we are. Let's go to the instance node, the one I got highlighted. Select top. No, I guess don't do that. Don't look any better. Now we have to take this one, because the size, I think, is the exact same size. That's why we're getting this bleed through. And let's de-instance this radius. And add a 4 behind that, so it's 2.04. Now you look at your bottom and it looks good. We still got to lower things down to get it lined up better though. And we can look at the original and see what we have for adjustments here. Select the render node and enable lighting and shadows. All right, maybe we can see it now. So select that node again. Sorry, not that one, this one. Select this node. To transform just beyond that node, I should have said. Can't see everything, had to move down. And again, back up in the inspector. You want to set this so you can see barely a gap between these two. Kind of like that, I have a line there. Okay, we'll go with that. Now select the fourth instance, the top one. Go to Materials, Opacity, De-instance. Now you'll see as I lower the opacity, the bottom one's going to start losing color because the reflection on a table or something is not like a mirror. Should have got rid of the animation first. Okay, the other problem is it should be upside down. We have the top here, top here. We have another transform node. Open the inspector. See which one I have highlighted. Hit flip vertical. Now everything's upside down. Select the second red cylinder node and de-instance the opacity. Now we're going to make these pictures rotate the other way. At the top. Right click that, the Y value, and de-instance. Now select the transform. We still have that problem, but if you go over here, that will rotate the correct way. So we'll keyframe that. Make sure it's at 0. Almost forgot. We got to go to this transform too. So if you look, the pictures are not flip-flop, just the red. So there we go. Now the pictures are flip-flop. Back to this transform. Make sure you're at frame 0. Set a keyframe. Play it to the end. Rotate this to the right to 360. Yeah, when we de-instance this Y on the top instance, we should double click that to delete the keyframe that was originally set. We got to re-keyframe them. Originally we did them at 10 seconds. I'm not going to cut out the mistake and confuse you guys, so I'm just going to go back through it and show the mistake and rekey it. The transform, double click the Y, make sure that frame 0, which we are, keyframe, now go to 360, let's try to re-instance them once and see what happens. Yeah, just do one. Then the pictures and the red will all move at the same time. You can adjust the opacity to your liking. I'll let it render out. Play one last time. It'll be in full screen. Okay, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.